What is going on, people? Welcome to the Level With You show. If you didn't notice, this week things are looking a little bit differently. We are living in Western Massachusetts and things got a little bit icy today, so we're off in our own cribs and we trying something new with this Skype shit. So thanks for bearing with us. As always, this week I'm joined by Kenny Castro.
What's up, guys? How's it going?
Tyler Hadley.
Hey, do his thing.
And he's just a still image, but he will stir your hearts. Anthony Dewars.
Hey, look at me. I'm a JPEG. You can download me, put me at your wallpaper. I look like I'm making a very important business call. You gotta invest, you gotta make sure you put in for your retirement. Gotta get the stocks up. How's it going?
Yeah. All right. So if you didn't know, this is a video game podcast where we get together each week and talk about, you guessed it, video games. You can watch it live on Tuesdays at around 6 p.m. on Facebook. The video goes up the following day on YouTube, so make sure to check it out there. Or if you want the audio-only version, it is on pretty much every podcast service you can think of. All right, guys. So how did you deal with the snow today? Did you, almost crash your car? Did you slip on your butt? How's it going?
I'm very surprised I didn't do either of those yet. Mainly the slipping and falling on my butt because my driver was a sheet of ice when I got home like an hour ago. But I've been pretty good so far. Didn't run into anything crazy. Work didn't really happen with it. You guys got a nice little break today. Got out a little early, right?
Yep. I was eating my sandwich at my desk, and I got the email. It was like, we're going to a skeleton crew at 1:30. Got out of the cubicle, did a little, oh. And, yeah, it wasn't actually looking too bad right when I left, but when I got home, like 45 minutes later, it was just straight pouring ice. So I think they made the right call. Very grateful they did. Got a couple hours to chill, watch the new Mandalorian. That was really good. Did you guys catch that?
What is that?
No.
It's the Star Wars show.
Oh, see, I don't have Disney Plus.
Ah.
Bad.
Kenny, so what? You're just one behind now?
Yeah, one behind right now. So don't tell me anything. I can't wait to see it.
Probably my favorite one yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Definitely can't wait.
Yeah, so we had the Game Awards this week. We're going to get to all that very shortly, but I kind of skipped Tyler and Anthony. I'm new to this whole being remote thing. It's easy to overlook. So how's it going with you, Tyler?
It's going pretty good. I'm trying just to monitor this the stream health. Seems like we're like dropping a lot of frames. I'm not sure how it looks.
Sorry for the frame drop.
That's my voice.
So something that's going on this week.
I was gonna ask Anthony how it was looking because I think he's watching it, right?
Oh my God, I'm an idiot.
Oh, forget it. All right, Wiley, bring us through.
So something we got going on this week that's very exciting. Tomorrow at Focus Springfield, we're going to be doing a Super Smash Brothers tournament. We're going to be starting off with just 16 contestants, kind of a trial run through. There will be some nice nifty little prizes, nothing major, but there's no entry fee. And we got a pretty good squad, I think, that's going to turn out, we hope. We're going to have some pizza, some refreshments, very professional setup. Shout out to Focus Springfield for hooking us up with the space. And hopefully we can make it a regular thing. So that's also going to be on the Twitch channel, right, Tyler?
Yeah, we're actually going to be on Facebook and Twitch. But if you want to chat with us, you should watch us on Twitch.
Okay. Very cool. Yeah, I'm excited. Me and Anthony are going to be doing the play-by-play. Did a little practice this weekend. I'm a tad nervous. I'm no Super Smash Bros. Expert, but I'm going to...
You will be by the end of tomorrow. Don't worry.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Just watch some more MKLeo, like we did. Just they're just getting fancy. We just got to make it your own.
Yeah. That's what I'm planning on doing a little later tonight. Just brush up on a few more things.
Perfect.
Yeah. So that's coming up, and that's big. We have the Game Awards. You guys ready to kind of go through the announcements and shit like that?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, cool. So the big thing that I don't think anybody was really expecting and was sort of came out of left field was the new Xbox was shown. It's all over the place right now. It's very rectangular. Kenny is an ardent defender of the style.
I am, and they confirmed you can lay it on its side. So I don't want to hear anybody complain about having to find space to stand it up. Xbox said that you could lay it down on the side. Perfect with me. I have no problem with it.
Well, I mean, you could lay it on its side, but it's still like 4 inches tall or something. I mean, I'll have no issue with it, and I've kind of grown. It's grown on me a little bit. Like, it is bold, and I do like that they're like making a point of saying, like, you know, this is an industrial design, so it's going to be very powerful, and they're making a big deal that it's going to be quiet, which is always a nice thing. So
that's as close as you can get to a PC without it being like an actual PC, it seems.
Exactly. When they showed it, I literally thought that it was a PC. I was like, oh, wow. Like, this is going to be like their second pillar, I guess.
Mm.
But
they're
that was
caving.
not the case.
I think it'll be good. It's an interesting design. Actually, I was watching a video last night, interestingly enough, trying to fall asleep, about the design of aluminum cans and why they are the way they are instead of like a total sphere or an actual cube. Cubes are probably the way the new Xbox shape is. Those are the most efficient way to pack anything, like in industry-wise, or like stacking them on pallets, or just like sending them out anywhere, pretty much like warehousing it. So I guess, you know, I mean, depending on the box that they already put in. So, but on its own, the little cube shape is the best packing design.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So you're saying that beer cans ideally would be cubes?
They could, except it'd be really uncomfortable to drink out of because it's just that one flat surface. It's like a lot of spilling.
It would be a bold choice, though.
Yeah. I'd like to see it. I mean, it was cool. I don't know why I was watching this, but it was like the guy had a really cool voice. And then I watched one right after that about how like the Titanic and its twin were made. And it was like 15 minutes into the video, and I'm like, why am I watching this?
The Titanic, as in the famous ship that
took a big kersploosh in the ocean.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was neat. Very informative.
It's always fun when you find a good YouTube video that you weren't expecting.
Oh yeah, I'm a big fan.
Yeah. So I'm going to read some stuff from Phil Spencer, the Xbox spokesman and president of all things Xbox. Xbox Series X will be our fastest, most powerful console ever and set a new bar for performance, speed, and compatibility, allowing you to bring your gaming legacy, thousands of games from 3 generations and more forward with you. Its industrial design enables us to deliver 4 times the processing power of the Xbox One X. That seems pretty crazy. In the most quiet and efficient way, something that is critically important in delivering truly immersive gameplay. We also designed Xbox Series X to support both vertical and horizontal orientation. You weren't lying,
cool.
Kenny. So it's bold and unique. That, they got me, but I was really expecting, and was
it's just like Kenny, bold and unique.
No,
with a little bit of spice.
So that's pretty cool. I'm going to keep going, but they do confirm right there that you are going to be able to play Xbox and Xbox 360 and Xbox One games, which, you know, we were already assuming Xbox One and hoping the others. But if you're going to be able to pop in a disc from 2002 and have it run on this machine, that's pretty
a must. That's a day one, I think, for me, honestly. Like, that's, I think, the only way I would go out and buy a console first day.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you already have that full library. I mean, and if anything else that comes out, that's just extra, which is great.
Yeah, one of the things they've also confirmed is that you're going to be able to use your accessories, so Xbox One controllers will work. I don't know if they've confirmed Kinect compatibility.
I'm confirmed Kinect compatibility to my computer.
All right, a little bit
up on it
because everyone loved the Kinect.
Right, thanks. Sticking with us if you're still there. But anyway, we were talking about Xbox and the Game Awards. We're going to move on now to some other announcements that happened. They had promised that 10 new games would be shown, and I think they at least hit that number, probably exceeded it. I'm going to run down some of the ones that I thought were notable to us. Bravely Default 2. I don't think anybody really expecting that. And that seems right up your alley.
Oh, yeah. I still have to go back and beat the first one. And I picked up the second one at a recent convention for $20 brand new sealed. But it's I'm really surprised that they're going with the like Bravely Default 2 rather than what was I forget the second one was like Bravely something. Bravely Second? Right. Yeah. That's weird that they're going with that.
What was the second one?
I think it was just called Bravely Second, if I can see. Yeah, it's just called Bravely Second End Layer rather than the first one being Bravely Default.
Interesting.
I don't know. So I don't know if it wasn't a port, right? They announced it as a whole new like game.
Yeah, new game.
Wow, interesting. Huh.
So that looks cool. Next we got Godfall, which is the first PS5 game. It's not developed by Gearbox, which is what I thought initially. The dev is called Counterplay Games. I checked out their website. There's a 75-person team that's got people that have worked on Ratchet and Clank, God of War, Destiny 2, Horizon, Diablo 3, Gears 5, a whole bunch of other AAA stuff. So it's being called a looter slasher, whatever that means.
Ooh.
I mean, I guess I can kind of assume that it's Borderlands with melee weapons. So yeah, I mean, it was a little generic, but who knows? It was a cool teaser trailer.
That'll be interesting to see. Looter slasher sounds. Did they say like? Was it just like a kind of like overall announcement, like no details on gameplay or anything, or they just
no? It got a pretty. I mean, I think it was in game. The trailer they showed looked pretty impressive.
Was it first person?
You couldn't tell.
Okay.
Yeah, it was just a cinematic with 3 warrior-looking dudes and sort of Destiny-esque armor, looking up at a giant monster in the sky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully, it doesn't follow the Anthem route.
No, hopefully not. And you guys, I don't think we actually talked about it. It's heavily rumored that Anthem is getting a major overhaul, and it's going to kind of just drop out of nowhere and hopefully get people back in. I mean, I know that that would be a big uphill climb, and but people love a Cinderella story. You never know.
I'd do it. I'd buy it because
that's true.
The same thing with Final Fantasy 14 online. When it first released, everybody was so hyped for it, and then it tanked. It sucked. It was awful. And then they took the whole game down, scrapped everything. Took about I think it was like 2 years, and then went back up, and it's huge now.
They kind of overhauled No Man's Sky, and that look at what it is now.
Yep.
So.
Yeah. It's crazy, and I think, and that's true. All the No Man's Sky updates have been free. I bought it for like $15 on GameFly after it flopped, and it's kind of crazy to me that I can just put the disc in and I'll have all new updates for free. So good on them, Hello Games. Kenny, why don't you talk about this one, the PUBG, because you seem to have a better grasp on it than I did.
So I want to say a couple months back they had announced that PUBG was going to drop a single player campaign. And when we saw that kind of that quick teaser during the Game Awards, that's what triggered me right there. It's like, oh, this must be like our first tease at a full cinematic trailer for the single player campaign. They haven't really dropped too much details about what the single player campaign is gonna really have to do or whatnot. But I know that that's one of the things they wanted to try and do to try and distinguish themselves from the other battle royales, like add a campaign now for people who aren't good or don't enjoy playing the 100-person battle royale.
Gotcha. Very cryptic trailer.
Yes.
You think it'll be good?
What was that, Tyler?
You think it'll be good?
Do I think it's gonna be good? In all reality, no.
Yeah.
I just, they would have to really invest a lot of time to make a good story, make it make sense. Maybe maybe they make the single player campaign have to do with how did you end up on this plane and on this island, the first island. Maybe lead it up that way. But if it went any other way with the story, I don't think it would make sense within the PUBG story.
Right.
In my head, because it all revolves around a battle royale. You're getting this island.
So the very end of the game is just like it's a prologue, and then it ends with you just jumping out of an airplane.
That would be the ideal single player campaign for me.
Oh, they could do a whole tournament arc thing where it's like, I've got to fight my way in these different areas to work up to the chance to go to PUBG Island, and my shonen protagonist self. I use my signature move with my M42. I don't know if that's a real gun, but I see that. I'd play that.
Okay, I can see that.
I just went back to PUBG.
One of the best-selling games of all time. Which I didn't really realize until recently. It is just a monster all over the world. So, they've got the money to invest big bucks into make it something AAA, which PUBG certainly wasn't when it came out. So we shall see. We got another game that I think has been getting quite a bit of not so great buzz. Fast and the Furious Crossroads, introduced by Michelle Rodriguez and Vin Diesel, which was neat at the Game Awards.
Good old Vin. Not as spectacular as Keanu Reeves.
No, not quite. That's, that was just out of nowhere. This one, you expected there to be celebrities there.
Yeah,
but Vin Diesel?
Keanu Reeves, or not Keanu Reeves, Vin Diesel I have.
Oh.
He's like I'm gonna send it. I'm gonna see it in the group chat now. But he's just leaning over a balcony with a cigarette, and he looks very defeated.
Oh, nice. That must have been after the Chronicles of Riddick.
Oh yeah, not having a good time.
That Chronicles of Riddick game though is the shit.
Yes, Escape from
Butcher Bay.
Yes.
Yeah,
that's one I wanted to pick up.
That was for the original Xbox, and that was one of the first non-first-person shooters. That was a first-person adventure game that really, really impressed me back in the day. So yeah, the game looks like a 360 game. It is definitely not so hot on terms of graphics.
Just looks like a San Andreas or something.
Geez, I don't know if it's quite San Andreas bad, but it's close. It's close.
Yeah, seriously though.
Is CJ in it?
Is CJ in it?
Yeah,
that'd
Grove
be a cool,
Street.
unlockable character.
It'd be great.
Yeah. So we'll see how that turns out. It's coming out May 2020. We got a couple League of Legends announcements. Apparently, they're making a bunch of full-on games. I don't think one of these is the fighting games that's been rumored, but one of them's called Convergence, a League of Legends story. One of them's called Ruined King, a League of Legends story. So I guess that's the thing that Riot's doing now. We also got a new Magic the Gathering game, or a couple.
Dude, Magic the Gathering was all over this Game Awards. Every single commercial break was a Magic the Gathering's commercial.
That's crazy. They were pushing it hard.
Yeah.
It's crazy, and like so many times I was like, because for Magic the Gathering they show these really cool cinematics, and then it's like, oh, it's a card game.
That's how they get you. It's like the story and the lore, and I'm a little weeb who doesn't like that. I like it's the character who goes into a card tournament with his stupid friends who are just like, oh, we could get through this with the power of friendship to get my grandpa's soul back from this crazy maniacal 50-year-old who's playing a kid's card game. I don't want some cool high fantasy shit. I want that.
Right. Exhibit your power through mana.
So do you not play Magic, Anthony? Because that seems very surprising to me.
Oh no, I love Magic. I've played the. I've wasted so much money, so many money dollars that I've spent on Magic the Gathering. It's disgusting. But I did also play the arena for a bit, and that's great. Except you don't really get anything for it if you buy physical cards. Like it'd be sick. Like what they do with the Pokemon trading card game online is when you buy the packs, you get a little key code or inside the booster packs that you can punch in for the online game and get a booster pack. But Magic doesn't do that, which I think is huge. They're missing a huge opportunity, I think, to get more people to buy their physical cards, is to hook it up with the arena, like Magic the Gathering Arena, because they're definitely trying to advertise the new sets as much as they can on there, along with, in real life, get the physical cards. And what better way to get somebody to buy both ends of your product than offering the product both physical and digital?
Yeah.
That would make a lot of sense.
For sure.
I mean, there's got to be a reason behind why they don't do that yet. I have no idea why, but
same. I mean, if Pokemon can do it, then and they still have they're not as competitive as Magic or crazy, but there's still tournaments out there where people win cold hard cash. They put out the tournament winner Pokemon card decks every year. It's I mean, I don't know what they're waiting for.
Interesting. I would like to learn how to play someday.
Yeah, well, I'll be happy to teach you any day you guys want.
It's not that hard. Anthony taught me how to play Magic.
It's true. It's fun.
I got some cards.
You do.
He made me waste a lot of money on Magic cards a couple of years ago.
Yes,
I think the little bit of Magic cards I had, I already gave it to Anthony.
Oh yeah, you did. I'll give them back.
Oh no, I don't need them.
Not with that attitude.
I'll play you in Yu-Gi-Oh. I got a bunch of Yu-Gi-Oh cards.
I gotta go through mine, man. That's a whole other story. You should see the. I have an old. You know the original Xbox. You guys ever see the original Xbox carrying case, like for the big fat boy?
Yeah.
I've got that full of Yu-Gi-Oh cards. It's actually right behind
man.
me. Yeah, it's too many.
We have a couple 4 like big binders full of Yu-Gi-Oh cards, like 4 of them.
I gotta put them in binders.
Our next announcement, it was called Weird West. I thought this looked really cool. I actually missed watching it live, so I was just going through looking at all the things that were announced. From former Arcane devs, so the Prey and Dishonored people. It's sort of a Wild West top-down action RPG. I'm sure it'll have lots of what's the word I'm looking for? Agency and different options for the player to do whatever. So looks very stylistic and cool. So I don't know if you guys saw that. I missed it the first time around.
No, yeah,
Check that out.
I saw the announcement. It looked pretty cool. Definitely not like a Prey style game. I mean, being the whole top-down thing, but it looked pretty cool. I think it could be either a hit or a miss, but we'll see.
Dungeons and Dragons Dark Alliance. Like, they're really just calling it Dark Alliance.
This game looked terrible.
Oh no!
It did.
No, it didn't.
Yeah, it did.
Oh man!
All it was like a CG trailer, wasn't it?
Well, if it's anything, if the gameplay is anything like what the CG trailer was, it just looked like the characters in the CG trailer just looked all floppy, and the angle that they filmed this trailer in was like somebody had a GoPro like dangling in front of their face, and it was just awkward. Like, it didn't look good.
I gotta see this.
That's a hot take, Tyler. I didn't think it looked bad.
It was just, I didn't like it at all. I was hoping, as soon as they said Dungeons and Dragons, I was really hoping for something cool looking, but I was like very disappointed.
Huh. Well, I guess it's the spiritual successor to Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance, which was a big old hit back in the, what was it, late 90s, early 2000s?
It was early 2000s because it launched on PS2, and then the sequel came out on PS2 and original Xbox. And I remember renting the original Xbox version. Too. It's awesome. And yeah, definitely PC. Oh yeah, that's a little weird. I can see that's pretty much looks like it's getting it looks like the characters are just filmed in a GoPro.
Yeah, are you watching it right now?
I am watching it right now, yeah. But I'm sure the gameplay is gonna be a lot better because it's a top-down. It's almost Diablo style. I get more of adventure rather than dungeon crawling.
I mean, I want to see
dungeon crawling, but
I definitely want to see some gameplay. But that trailer was bad.
I think they were trying to maybe make it seem like it was a first-person game.
That's how it kind of felt to me, and I mean, hopefully not, because if it's gonna look like that trailer, I don't want to play it. Oh, I think we froze.
I froze and got popped back in.
Oh, we're back.
Back? Because Kenny's frozen to me. Oh, now he's back. Yay! All right. We got still a lot more stuff to get through, so we might have to pick up the pace a bit. No More Heroes 3. Anthony, you stoked on this?
Oh my god. I watched the trailer. As soon as you guys you said something about it, or I looked up something about the Game Awards that day, and I was like, holy crap. The 2 trailers they put out were awesome. One was did you guys see both, like the extended one?
Yeah, I saw the extended one, and it's amazing.
It's awesome. It's like an ET parody, but then ET comes back like 20 years later, and the guy's a big CEO of a company who's like, I've been waiting 20 years for my alien friend to come back. And the chick, Sylvia, who's been a side character, or like one of the main, basically secondary character of the whole series, is his secretary, or at least his voice actress was. And I was like, oh, that's a cool little nod. I don't know if that's going to be in the real game. But then basically the alien comes back, and instead of assassins now this time, because through every game you've had to like climb your way up the assassination ranks to get to number 1 assassin, like usually out of 100. This time it's a bunch of aliens coming to turn the planet. Like, I think it's like everybody in the planet is a superhero, or they're trying to turn everybody into superheroes, or they are superheroes themselves, and Travis has got to go all like crazy mecha and like fight them, or just usual crazy like otaku lightsaber shenanigans, which I'm more than excited for.
They have to do to this game, and correct me if they have already, is port them over to Switch so people that didn't play it back on the Wii or what
right
can jump in.
Oh no, I would be so happy if they ported it to Switch, because the port for the PS3, they only ported the first game, No More Heroes 1 for the original Wii, to the PS3 years ago. I think 2010, between 2010 and 12. And it was awful because you could use the PlayStation Move, but it was not good.
Huh.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
even the controllers were just laggy, and the original Wii versions by far, like first and second one, are the way to go. And even the newest one that came out, Travis Strikes Back, it's okay. I wasn't really into it as a top-down, more so co-op designed kind of arcadey game, but I don't know. I wasn't really into it. I played maybe the first 2 levels, and I just kind of put it back down.
Do they rely heavily on motion controls?
Actually, they didn't really. The first and second ones, the motion controls, I think, if anything, kind of added an extra flair, because the character of Travis Touchdown is kind of, he's this big, like, weeby otaku guy who's also super strong and, like, can wield a sword very well, and he has a lightsaber for some reason, and he just likes killing people and is a psycho. But he watched a whole bunch of wrestling tapes on VHS and has this delusion that one of the guys he watched, like his favorite wrestler, like the Masked Wrestler, was his sensei and trained him. So you can do all these crazy like backflip throws, or like you break people's necks and like crush their thighs, or crush their heads with your thighs, with these wrestling moves. Crush their thighs. If you haven't played him, I highly recommend checking him out, or at least the story, because it's awesome. And I was really surprised it actually got released on the Wii. But the motion controls are just kind of used to accent some of Travis's moves. Like mainly, it'll end a combo with your sword. It'll do like a little dial with the arrow, kind of like a clock. It'll spin around and then stop, and then you swipe the Wiimote in the direction the arrow's pointing, and you get like a kind of bonus final slash that goes all flashy and stuff.
Do you have it for Wii?
I do, and it's great.
Yeah, let me borrow it.
For sure. Oh, the biggest thing I forgot to mention is the way that you charge your lightsaber, because it can run out of juice after you slash stuff, is you got to take it and you just got to jerk it. You shake it back and forth, and Travis should say he's working a shake weight or some other phallic object, and it's great.
Sounds pretty great.
It's a good game. And I'm very excited for the third one.
All right, so there was a whole bunch of other stuff at the Game Awards. We can't go over all of it here. We like to keep the shows around an hour long so you can get on with your day. But real quick, I wanted to go through with some of the notable winners. Game of the Year. I think this was a surprise to a lot of people. And it was also my personal Game of the Year. Sekiro: Shadows Die Twice. Congrats to From Software.
Killing it.
Surprised it's happened.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised. I mean, I was happy for you because you kind of predicted correctly.
Yeah, well, I don't know. Did I predict that on last week's show?
I don't think you did, actually. I know you talked about it in your personal one, but I don't think you predicted it on the last week's show.
Yeah, I can't remember.
because you went over your top 10, I'm pretty sure. Your top 10, that was the first one on your top 10, right?
Yeah, it's my personal favorite of the year, I believe. You know, that could change 6 months down the line. Like, you know, I originally said that Fallout 4 was my game of the year in 2015. Now going back looking at that, I'm like, wow, Witcher 3 was way better. Bloodborne was way better. So, but anyway, game direction, Hideo Kojima. No surprise there.
The first Strand type game. The first Strand type game.
Best narrative, Disco Elysium. I think this was a big win for them. Got a lot of people, you know, probably aware of this game that maybe weren't before. It was actually had a big night overall. It won Best Indie Game as well.
Yeah. I want to play it.
Stranding did pick up a few. It won Best Score / Soundtrack. Well deserved. I think that the score as well as the licensed music were both just excellent in that game. Yeah. Were there any like upsets for you guys? Something that you were like, "What? How the hell did that win?" Or
I'm surprised that Dragon Quest XI didn't get Best RPG, but then again, Dragon Quest isn't as big as it is in Japan over here, and it depending on, I guess, the RPGs like Western RPG or JRPG, totally different ball games. And games is subjective.
Yeah, can't really get more different than Disco Elysium and Dragon Quest XI as far as RPG structure goes.
I don't have to check that out because I don't even know if I've ever seen anything actually about Disco Elysium because I live under a rock, or I used to live under a rock, but now I live under an attic.
I mean, the best sports / racing game, Crash Team Racing, beat out like FIFA and like all that. I mean, that was kind of surprising.
That was surprising.
I'd rather have that.
Yeah, I don't think that 2K20 or the show were even nominated.
No, because 2K20 sucked.
Oh, that's one. Okay, I can see how that works.
Best
Huh.
community support, Destiny 2.
There you go.
As somebody that frequents the Destiny the game Reddit, which is like the third biggest game Reddit, I believe, super active. Bungie is constantly replying. The Reddit is filled with suggestions to a kind of an obnoxious degree. People thinking that they know how to make games better than Bungie, but they do actually give a lot of good input, and Bungie will implement them into the game, eventually. So I can see why they would win that. So good on them. Ongoing game Fortnite. This is what we all agreed on. It had to be.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
hands down.
Just the way it stayed in the discussion throughout the year. And with the whole Chapter 2 thing, that was pretty cool. Best family game, Luigi's Mansion 3.
Every single family game nominated was a Nintendo game.
Yeah.
I thought that was funny.
Yep.
That was
was
funny.
a Nintendo category.
It's like, I think Nintendo's got a good shot here.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh wow. Multiplayer. That's weird. Their categories are like, I don't know. It's always kind of like, I guess it's just me, but it's a little like, oh, best multiplayer game, but it's like any of them I guess could kind of be put into a multiplayer category.
Yeah, I think with multiplayer game though, they had to be released that year, and so something like Fortnite wasn't eligible for that.
Gotcha.
So I think Apex is another excellent game, another one that just narrowly missed my top 10, only because I'm got to get good. Best action game, DMC5. That one surprised me. That's one that I did play through and like, but I guess they were just going through for a pure action choice, which sure I respect that, but
Right.
I don't remember what else was nominated, but I was a little like, but so yeah, that was the Game Awards. We're gonna move on now. We've been on that for a while, but happens once a year, and we got to do what we got to do. So
It's true.
Some other news did happen this one. I knew this was going to like really be tough on Anthony to hear. 2B butt outfit nerfed in Final Fantasy 14.
First they take away Tumblr porn. Now they're taking why? Come on. Just
Anthony, your mic,
look at
you got it. I can't hear you, man.
Just let a boy look at a butt. Just let a boy look at a butt.
There you go. With the release of Nier Automata themed alliance raids for FF14 came the inclusion of 2B's outfit of the game, or to the game. When players equipped the bottom part of 2B gear set, it put the character in underwear and thigh-high socks. More importantly, doing this increased your character's butt size. However, when the last patch dropped several weeks ago, players noticed that the 2B butt had flattened to the default size.
Womp womp.
In the latest FF14 live stream with the developer's producer, Nakoi Yoshida, noted that he is aware of the problem. And I watched the video of this, and it's hilarious, him talking about it. He stated that he recognized that Reddit had been referring to this as a bottom nerf, according to a fan translating the live stream. Polygon has reached out to Square Enix regarding the accuracy of the translation. Yoshida noted that this nerf is temporary. The bigger butt deployed without the right parameters set, so it wasn't hidden when players sat down, which caused issues. Yoshida acknowledged that players want butt sliders added to the character customization in the game and considered this equip as a way of delivering that. He said the development team is working on a fix, and players will have their large 2B butts returned to them in patch 5.18, which is coming on December 24th, just in time for Christmas, Anthony. It's all okay.
Santa knows what I want.
Wow, that is hilarious.
Yeah, obviously not real news, but hey, it's fun.
The best kind. Don't worry.
Yeah.
It's Anthony news.
It's my news. It's actually I'd love to like try Final Fantasy 14 again at some point because that was a lot of fun.
Oh man, I feel
I
like
actually saw Shadowbringers, the expansion for this year, on a lot of Game of the Year lists. Like it's really loved now.
It's huge now.
Yeah.
It's really blowing up.
I have like such a hard time getting into like subscription based games.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing too because it's like I down like 1 week I'll be like, okay, I'm gonna sign back up. I'm gonna put that $14 down a month or whatever, put my debit card in. and I'm gonna play this, and I get really into it, and I play it for like 4 or 5 days, and then I just don't touch it the rest of the month, and then it's
I
like,
know.
oh well, that's just,
It's such a commitment. You need to be in high school or college or have no life.
no aspirations. Just kidding. I'm basically on the border there, but it is really hard because I did recently over the summer. I don't know if I told you guys, but I tried playing World of Warcraft again. I signed up for the monthly subscription, played 2 days, and didn't touch it after that, and then
I
canceled.
need to do that. I need to get back on WoW.
No,
You say that.
no, you
and then
don't.
you get back on, and you either get back on or you're just like, I don't know, man.
I don't know. You guys will lose me for a month if I get back on WoW. I'm gonna be making excuses. I'm gonna be making excuses not to make the podcast. Oh, my grandmother's in the hospital. I can't.
Sorry, man, my clock won't flush. I gotta figure out why it's not. Okay, I gotta go by.
Tyler's gonna be like, Kenny's on BattleNet right now playing WoW. He's not at the hospital.
Yeah, right.
I brought my tablet with me.
You have to stream it if you do play it.
I know.
So this one isn't in the outline, guys, but it happened earlier today, I believe. Maybe it was yesterday evening, but Sony has announced is releasing a back button attachment for its DualShock 4 controller that will allow players to add 2 customable
Back
buttons.
buttons.
Gamepad. It will retail for $29.99 and kind of hooks onto the back. And I guess this is, let's see, the DualShock 4 back button attachment is aimed at gamers of all skill levels who enjoy playing competitively. The customizable device can be attached to the back of your DualShock 4 controller and has 2 programmable back buttons that can be mapped to 16 different actions, such as triangle, R1, R2, and so on.
Oh.
So I guess this is a bridge in between the Xbox Elite controller, not quite going all the way.
Because the standard Xbox controllers don't have the back buttons, right?
No.
No, they don't. That's what I thought. Because actually, like the Steam controller that I got, this thing has back buttons on it. I'm actually showing it on camera right now just to show people what back buttons kind of were referring to.
Okay.
What is it? How does it feel? Have you tried it out yet, Tyler?
Yeah, I mean it's interesting. I haven't tried any like real big customizations or anything like that. But like the whole trackpad type thing on it is really interesting. But that's kind of
How's it feel?
it's okay.
What is the track? What do you mean by the trackpad?
So it's got like a trackpad that's kind of like simulates like a cursor, like a mouse movement. So you can like run your thumb over it, and that simulates like moving your mouse.
Huh. Interesting. Well, this is something that I would like to try. Maybe you'll pick it up if it goes on sale, but I'm not the biggest competitor. I'm more of a single player guy.
You got to get that Pro controller first, Wiley.
Oh yeah, I actually, my sister texted me today asking what I wanted for Christmas, and that was one of the 3 things that I mentioned. So
Hell yeah.
Hey,
I
there
was
you
able
go.
to give them options. So
Nice.
all right, back to the outline. Bada boom. Yeah, so we kind of already gone through it all, and usually what we do on this podcast is talk about what games we've been playing this week beforehand, but we wanted to try something new since we are doing this whole Skype/live stream thing. Start out with the news first, see how that felt with the flow of the show. Now we're going to get into what we've been playing this past week. So I've been playing quite a few different things, kind of going back to games that have been out for a while. We got a Shovel Knight update, which is essentially a brand new game called King of Cards. I went back and played Control's new update, which sort of surprise dropped during the Game Awards. Their new mode called The Foundation. And playing a bunch of Lonely Mountains Downhill on Xbox, which I am like in love with now. It is super fun. I'm going to talk about that one first. I mentioned it last week on the show. You essentially are doing nothing but riding your bike down a hill, trying not to crash. Each time you unlock a new trail, you're just trying to get to the bottom. There's no pressure. You're not trying to get any goals, anything like that.
So it's not. So is it like a trials kind of game? Where like you're kind of controlling like the front and back of the bike to like maintain like your balance and stuff like that.
So you don't control the front and back of the bike. You Trials is on a 2D plane, right?
Yeah.
I've never actually played a Trials game, but I have seen some footage of them, and I'm pretty sure that they're very physics based, and you're trying to. It's sort of like an obstacle course most levels.
Yeah.
This one is a very scenic setting. You're riding down a mountain. The only controls are accelerate and brake, and turbo, which is done by pressing A. And it's just very satisfying. The braking feels realistic when you're going down a very steep hill. It's essential that you're holding it, or else you're just going to crash. It feels really good to just hit a turn in just the right way. The camera is at a fixed angle, so it's not the most convenient, but it gives the game a challenge. So I highly recommend people check that out. I was sort of into it before, and now it's sort of the number one thing I'm playing. Is
that the one that's on in the background?
It is.
Yeah.
I was playing it right before we started the show. Yeah.
Nice. I saw you going hard there before we started the stream up. You were just like trying to nail some kind of trick.
Yeah, and I was just actually trying to nail jumping over a waterfall. So like the game gets pretty tough with trying to find the right momentum and not crash. So each time you're going down a trail, there are 7 checkpoints, and after you reach each checkpoint, you kind of feel emboldened to go a little faster and really kind of go for that next corner with a little bit more aggression than after you crashed a couple of times. So very fun and pretty and relaxing. But
sounds great.
Yeah, it's cool. Yeah,
it's on Game Pass.
Indeed. I'm not sure if it's on the PC one, but you should.
No, it is on the PC. So if I have some free time, I'll probably check it out.
Nice. And then another game I got to talk about, Shovel Knight King of Cards. So Shovel Knight came out way back in 2014 now. Took the world by storm as one of the best 8-bit 2D platformers of all time. And now it's back with King of Cards, which is a free update if you own Shovel Knight Treasure Trove, which I'm not 100% sure on this, but I think if you own Shovel Knight, it just sort of transformed into that. Because I don't think I've ever paid anything extra for Shovel Knight, and I've gotten 3 additional campaigns. The game was $14.99 when it came out. It's $25 now. Totally fair.
And on Switch?
It's $25 on. I think the physical one on Switch. Weren't you saying it's like $40?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just saw it at Target the other day when I was Christmas shopping. It's like $40 for Switch, but if you have the Treasure Trove or anything else, because I think I did the same thing because I got Shovel Knight just regular for PlayStation 4 used, and it upgraded to Treasure Trove.
Oh yeah. So there you have it. My theory checks out. So this game, unlike Spectre Knight and Plague Knight, which were the 2 previous expansions, which are essentially full games, does not have a difficult to grasp gimmick that differentiates him from Shovel Knight. It always felt a little bit just easier to utilize Shovel Knight's moveset. The other 2, Spectre Knight was an improvement over Plague Knight for sure. They just didn't have quite the satisfaction and utility that you felt as Shovel Knight. I think when you play as King Knight, who you play as in the new one, it actually feels great. He's got a simple dash that once you hit a wall or most objects in the game, you do a little spin up on top of it, and then you can bounce on things while you're spinning, and it just feels natural. It feels good. And the enemy placement, the music, the new, very extensive mini game, the card game is fun, although I'm not very good at it.
You were telling me about that on Saturday, and I really want to look into that. Like, I really want to try to see just how the layout is or how the game plays, because it sounded kind of like almost Triple Triad-y if you've played that from, I think it was like, Final Fantasy 9, and then Final Fantasy 8 had the like Tetra Master or something like that. Or no, reverse that. Final Fantasy 8, Triple Triad, Final Fantasy 9, Tetra Master.
Yeah, what he said.
Yeah. It looks cute.
Yeah, so I'm really digging it. I think the game has 3 large maps, and each map has anywhere from 6 to, or I don't know, 5 to 9 levels or so. The bosses are just the right amount of difficulty so far. You'll have to retry them 3-4 times and got to get a grasp of their attack patterns. which was the same case for the original game. So yeah.
the real question is, are we going to be getting another video review?
I might have to. I'll have to go through and play through Plague Knight and Spectre Knight again. Just do the whole treasure trove.
Yeah.
Wiley's treasure trove.
And it has another mode in this update, which is sort of like a Super Smash Bros. Inspired 2D fighting
Brawler?
game. Yeah, I mean, what's the word I'm looking for? Smash-like. So yeah, well, I'll have to try that out with you guys sometime.
Nice.
For sure.
Okay.
Yeah. Can I kick it to you guys for a game you've been playing this week?
Yeah.
I've just been yelling at people in Rocket League. It's like 50-50. Yeah, sometimes I'll miss an easy shot. I'll get mad at myself for missing an easy shot. Sometimes my teammate misses an easy shot. I get mad at them for missing an easy shot. And yeah, I'm just yelling fuck to everyone, myself included.
How fast you can just type when you go back to like type in a message to somebody when you're playing Rocket League while also playing like, what the fuck was that? Or like, what? Come on.
That's like the only game I like text chat on PlayStation.
Crazy.
Oh wow.
So Kenny, are you squadding up with him? How do you know he's losing?
He doesn't.
No, you know.
He's just trolling.
I am just trolling Tyler.
Gotcha. All right, so Rocket League as per usual with Tyler. What about you, Kenny? I know you put in a Way Out. You digging that?
Yeah, I'm actually enjoying it. I've been playing A Way Out with my buddy Gino from Florida. We've been rolling through it. The story is pretty good. We're intrigued. We're hooked in it. So and whenever we get the chance to kind of link up after work and play it, we've been playing it. And I like the controls. It doesn't feel bad. I was expecting kind of like something more. Like I thought it was gonna be a little more clunky because there was some high-speed chases where I was kind of surprised. I was like, "Oh, we're getting chased by the cops, and I'm driving this old pickup truck, and we got to get away from people." And so it's been pretty good. I can't like this game has been good enough that it makes me want to beat it. Some
Nice.
games that I say, "Oh, I'm gonna beat it," but then I'm like, no, it's not good enough. I'm dropping off from it. But we've been staying consistent. I streamed it a couple times, but at this point in time, I just wanna finish it off. They have some mini games in it where, like, in between stories, like kind of relieve some of the anxiousness or the high level of the escape, or making you feel like, oh, you want to get revenge on this person. Like you take a moment, you stop, and you're like, oh, let me arm wrestle my buddy who I'm playing with, or let me play Connect 4 with them, or darts, in
cool.
between like certain chapters. So right now, we did a couple of those mini games. It wasn't bad. We did arm wrestling, which was the most difficult thing in the world because it's like pretty much a button mash contest.
Oh man.
And I think we were button mashing for like a minute and a half, where I thought my arm was getting exhausted. And
one arm wrestling match was a minute and a half.
A minute and a half
For one arm wrestle. Oh, see,
arm wrestle.
See, I'm thinking of like a Monster Hunter arm wrestling, where it's quick.
Just boom.
Quick time, right? Like the quick time? No.
Well, I mean, you're still mashing when you're arm wrestling somebody, but it doesn't last a minute and a half.
No,
That'd
man.
be insane.
It was like moments where I was like, all right, I'm gonna beat him, and then the momentum shifts where he like caught back up, and it was like in the middle, and I'm like, holy crap, are you serious? I'm like, no way, he sped up. I could hear him from the mic. He hasn't changed the way he's smashing it, and I could have sworn I sped up. I should have been beat him, and then I think he like let go at one point in time, and that's when I took over, and I was like, all right, I'm done. But he did beat me. He did beat me in Connect 4 when we were playing it. So, it's a little interesting, a little fun, little mini games.
So the game is co-op only. If people don't know, it's not split screen, is it? Is it?
It is. It actually is split screen. So what it does is like a side by side split screen. So you're able to see what he's doing. So you're not forced to stay within each other's window. So he could wander off and like within a certain range and just interact with things, and I could do my own thing as well in between sometimes, and it'll show me what he's doing and what I'm doing. You know.
Interesting. Okay, yeah, I think
Yeah.
I knew that at one point, but forgot.
So it was definitely, some of the mechanics was fun, like trying to break out. We were trying to unscrew some of the things behind one of the toilets in the cells to try and break out through there. And it was, the guards were coming by, so I was his lookout while he was doing it. So I'd have to tell him like, stop, 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 stop. He's coming. And then he had to stop, put the toilet back in place, and then act like, oh, I'm not doing anything. You know,
That's
and
cool.
then go right back to it, things like that. So it's all about interactivity, like, and just communicating with each other. You know, we got killed at one point in time yesterday by an assassin that was hunting us down because he took way too long to try and pull me up. I was like, listen, I'm waiting for you. I can't pull myself up. Like, and then he pulled me up, and then we couldn't open the thing, and the assassin came like one shot in us, and I was like, oh, we're dead.
Oof. Sounds fun though.
Yeah, it does
It
sound
is.
fun. It's something I've been thinking about playing for a while now. And do you own it, or does your buddy own it?
Actually, neither one of us owns it technically. It's on EA Access.
Oh, okay.
Yep. So that's how we're playing, because I have EA Access, so I downloaded it, and then I was able to invite him to download the free trial, so he can only play when I invite him to the game.
Okay, gotcha.
Yep.
Cool. And Anthony, how many failure Charmanders do you have?
Oh my god, I don't even want to say. There's so I've had to start. I've never had to do this in a Pokemon game until this version. But you know that option that it says release in the PC, when you just they just disappear into the ether and your Pokemon are gone forever.
Yeah.
I probably had to do that to at least 200 Charmanders so far. Like, it's a disgusting amount.
Wow, that's insane. You're just looking for perfect IV Charmanders?
No, I had 4 of those. Now I'm getting greedy. I'm looking for a shiny. I figured I'm this far in. I got to get that shiny. I want that black Charizard. I'm going to nickname him Keenan Thompson, and that's that.
How's that competitive team looking?
It's looking pretty good. I get some really good guys lined up. I just have to get this Charmander out of the way, and then I'm going to start the process of EV training and just feeding them all the really candy so they can level up, and we can get out on the field and see what goes on in rank battles.
Yeah,
So
we
what's your
gotta.
squad?
Right now I have so far a Tyranitar, or he's gonna be a Tyranitar.
It's a good one. Nice and bulky.
Oh yeah, big bulky defense. I bred a Galarian Mr. Mime, who I want to put Mr. Rhyme. The Hatterna, the hat Pokemon, the psychic one that's just like the little ball in the head, and it's got like the witch's hat. Who else? I got a Ferrothorn. Thinking about a Gyarados possibly.
Oh,
Gyarados, yeah, you do see a lot of Gyarados, and I've been watching a lot of like ranked videos on YouTube. I see a lot of Gyaradoses out there.
He's really fast. If you have, it sucks because if you're up against any kind of electric, you're done because he's got 4 times weakness to it from his water and flying typing. But you get a Dragon Dance off on him, like just boosts his attack and speed. He starts to be like one of the fastest heavy attackers out there because he's got a really good attack stat.
Yeah.
It gets wild, and I'm really excited to see how bad I get crushed. But then I'm also really excited to see how this does. I just got to get this stupid Charmander first.
interesting. I'll have to check out some of those ranked matches. I've been interested myself.
Yeah, Anthony, once you got your team together, you should start doing a road to Master Ball rank.
I'd like to do that. It'd be tight. My buddy Ryan is playing. He's doing doubles in the Battle Tower right now, and he said he hasn't lost yet. He's got a really good team going on. I gotta now work in some strategies. Like, he's got his Butterfree and doubles that go out. It's like his guy Gigantamax Butterfree and a Flygon, and Butterfree has Levitate, so it can't be hit by ground type moves. So he always goes out, throws Earthquake on with his Flygon. His opponent or his Pokemon doesn't get hurt, and then just wrecks the opponents. So I gotta work some strategy game in.
That's next level. I never knew Butterfree could be good.
Neither did I, and I'm very happy I have a couple. But it's absolutely insane. I'll trade you one because I think I have a couple big Gigantamax ones, and they're real good.
Cool. That was a better Pokemon discussion than I expected.
I mean, ranked battles in Pokemon are really interesting. They're very strategic. It's all about what items you give. There's like so many different items from like Pokemon from compared to 5 years ago or whatever.
Yeah.
There's so many different
totally
ways
different
you can play. It's very competitive.
Oh yeah, like the what is it? The soft shell you have on your Arcanine, Wily? Is that what it's called?
Yeah, it just gives me, or no, Shell Bell. It gives me a
Shell
few.
Bell, yeah, that's like there's so many combinations. There's another item that's like that called Leftovers, which after every turn it's common. Like you'd see it on either Snorlax in the wild or old competitive people used to put on Snorlax for their heavy tank Pokemon because that heals them. I think it's like a little bit more than Shell Bell, or it's about the same, but it heals their HP every turn. So it's good for like if you're damaging yourself or if you just have your big tank Blissey, who's sadly not in Sword or Shield, but was big in X and Y competitive. She would just use Toxic, Hard Boiled, have leftovers, so just you couldn't kill it; it would just poison you and pretty much just turtle out the fight.
Stall them out.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Well, I think the last game I'm going to talk about before we. Oh yeah, I did beat Pokemon Shield. I guess I'll mention that real quick before we move on to Pokemon. Anthony, I know that we were playing, or I was playing when you were over the other night, and you said like, "Oh yeah, you got like half hour left, 40 minutes left." I had like 2 hours left.
Yeah, that's. I was actually gonna say something, but I didn't because I was like, shit. I think I gave Wiley a wrong estimate because you have to go through all of what you did, then you have to go up the tower, you have to do all that, then you have to go fight in the tournament again, then you have to go do more stuff.
Yeah, so there was a substantial amount of stuff there. So it was cool. I mean, the game's underwhelming from a story and cinematic perspective, but I enjoyed my time. It took me just shy of 30 hours. I ended up with only 119 Pokemon, so definitely didn't go hard like you did in the wild area. But I'll probably get back to it. I mean, I'll dabble from time to time. I don't think I'll be getting into competitive or anything.
It's a good thing to go back. Once the wild area is definitely way better to kind of go back and play with once you've beaten the game. Because I think I was telling you, you unlock the 2 other weather conditions, more Pokemon show up, and then all those guys are level 60 now. So it is a good place to like try to grind a bit or just find some pretty good guys.
Cool.
Yeah, and I mean, and always if you want to like mess around with kind of like competitive kind of teams, you can always go to Pokemon Showdown. The website, and you can just like custom build any team that you want, and then you can just like play quick matches online, and it's just like a in browser type like a battle
thing.
Okay.
It's kind of like an old like Flash or something. It just like shows your Pokemon sprites, and then it's like you versus the other guys. Kind of like an old like Pokemon Red and Blue version-esque, but using the modern 3D sprites.
Oh, I'll have to check that out. Definitely seems like a handy resource.
Yeah, if you just want to like learn about what Pokemon you might want to use if you want to do ranked matches, you might want to figure out what IVs and stuff, max IVs you might want on certain Pokemon or whatever, and it's definitely good practice.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta do it
myself.
myself.
Get Pokemon, Tyler.
I know, I do really enjoy Pokemon. I just I'm not really into it this time around. I don't know. I feel like I like skip generations every time Pokemon comes out.
That's okay. I mean, you did good with Sun and Moon. You were hard on that for a while, but then this is like I think the reason why I got into this one so hard was it was just the new generation's first game on the hardware that's like a mainline game, and hopefully it just gets better. Like they're adding stuff to the wild area, but I have a funny feeling they're gonna give us a couple things with this one, and then just put out like Pokemon Gun. Well, not Gun, but like the third in the series to tie them both together.
That would be hilarious. That's
Pokemon Sword, Shield, and Gun.
All right, so the last game I want to talk about real quick, Control. It got that new update. It's called the Foundation. It's essentially it's not quite a horde mode. You're sort of transported into a spirit or a very trippy plane, which are some of the coolest moments in Control. And you're fighting waves of enemies, or you're trying to pick up these items from these dead people that were on an expedition. And I have to say, I was pretty underwhelmed by it. I think that's not really the reason that I come to a game like Control. Sure, it was a free update, but I had one run. Gives you like half an hour or so to complete these 4 objectives, and you're grinding for rare loot, which is a dime a dozen in the game. Like there's nothing going to be that special. I didn't successfully complete it. I got like 75% of the way through and then my time expired. So I barely got anything, and my reward was I get to try again. And I just don't see myself going back to it until the true DLC drops, the paid expansion. And I'll definitely be here for that. Control is still an excellent game. It's my number 6 on my top 10. So yeah, I was a little bummed, but if you really enjoyed the combat and you have it maybe on PC, I have it on my base PS4 and it still does not run great. Maybe you get a kick out of it, and maybe the DLC is going to be super hard. And if you grind this mode enough, you get good enough rewards. But I'm just not going to put in the time, I don't think. And maybe I'll give it another shot. But
That sounds fair.
yeah, it was okay, but I was not particularly impressed.
If I want to grind a bunch and go through a whole bunch of crazy levels and not get any reward for it, I go back and play like an NES or SNES game.
Or Pokemon Sword.
Exactly. I just put myself through that. Just grinding for no reward until what? One day.
All right, y'all. Well, that's pretty much what we've been playing. We did the news first this time. Smash tournament tomorrow. That's a big deal.
Yep, we're doing a test Smash tournament with some friends. Yeah, probably bracket of 16, and things are going to be looking cool.
Yeah,
I'll make
hopefully, in the springtime or the summertime, we'll at least double the amount of competitors and get some real money on the line, and it'll be a regular thing. That's our hope anyway.
Yeah, if you're in the Western Mass area and you want to participate, feel free to let us know. Shoot us a message.
Yeah, definitely.
Come show your skills, show your Smash skills, and have a great time. It'll be good.
And for anybody that's trying to check it out, make sure to follow us on Twitch starting today. So you're up to, you're already subscribed or following before tomorrow when we go live with the tournament.
True that. All right. Well, I smell some food cooking, and unlike most weeks, I don't have to drive half an hour to get back home. Get to walk through that door.
It's convenient. It's nice. This is a nice
Yeah.
little. I got my screens up. It's a little cold in my room, but I mean that's also because I'm wearing a t-shirt. I could put a sweatshirt on, but it is very comfy. This is nice. Nice
Yeah.
fireside chat.
Yeah. If we ever, this is our 33rd week in a row. We have had some times where one person didn't make it, but 3 people have made it for 33 weeks in a row. So good on you guys.
Yep.
And yeah, hopefully. Here's
Yeah,
to
but-
33 more.
Yeah, well, we've got how many more shows in the new year? 2 more shows? Well, 1 more show, because are we gonna record on New Year's Eve, or are we gonna record on that Monday? And
Maybe our next 2 shows are actually going to be on Mondays because, yeah, just so
So
we
the
can.
holiday.
Yep.
Symbol.
all right, well then we got 2 more shows in 2019.
We'll be live the next 2 Mondays, everybody, whoever's tuning in right now. So look out for that.
Yeah.
Hopefully no
Well-
snow or ice.
Yeah. Hopefully, we're lucky we got this weather today and not tomorrow, because that would have
Yeah,
ruined
that would have
everything.
sucked.
I know.
Yeah.
I don't think tomorrow's supposed to be too bad.
No, I think it looks sunny. What
Right.
my phone said.
Very good.
Change.
All right. Well, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next week.
All right, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to YouTube, Twitch, Facebook, wherever you're listening.
Goodbye.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.